What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Freestyle. I'm Corbin Elliott, and thank you for joining me here today. If you cannot tell, I am a little bit sick, so I'm going to try to deal with that the best I can. There's not much I can do about this. Just kind of my voice is going away every once in a while. Might be a bit quiet, so I'm really going to try to talk into the mic. Hopefully I don't die mid-episode, because talking for 45 minutes is probably going to, kill me. But I'll try my best. Currently today is Wednesday, and we have Crown Jewel coming up on Saturday, which I'm super excited for. Of course, with that being mentioned, today is a wrestling rundown episode, of course. And a lot has happened. Not really like a lot has happened, but there's been some shifts in the WWE that I want to discuss. Raw last night caught me off guard. That was fun. We're gonna talk about it later. I'll get into it, but the Maxxine Dupri Becky Lynch match from Raw literally shocked me. I was super impressed, but I'm not gonna get into that now. So I don't even know how I want to lead this off, if I'm going to be honest. Do I just want to jump in? Do I want to talk about my life for a quick second? My life's not really that interesting. I won't lie to you. I kind of just go to school and I make podcasts. I like to hear myself talk. So, if you guys have any suggestions for questions, if you guys want to see any tier lists, if you want to hear my opinions on whatever, let me know in the comments. If you could, maybe hit a zigzag on that like button or on the ratings in Spotify. And please leave a comment. If you leave a comment, it really does grow my channel, which I didn't know. If you can rate it, please, helps the channel grow. I mean, pretty much anything. Like, if you're watching right now, I appreciate it so much. And I'm really fortunate to be able to do this and do something that I like, with this beautiful setup, with this light I got and this little 4K camera or whatever I'm using. And I got this beautiful flag from Temu that I've made. So I'm super excited. Halloween is coming up. That's been a big talking point, with my friends, from college and I've been trying to figure out the Halloween costume. And you'll have to pay attention to my Instagram, because I might make an Instagram post, because Halloween's gonna be pretty crazy. But I am going as none other than Dominic Mysterio. I couldn't afford cowhide, because that's really, really expensive, but I did get a pretty much just like a collared, like, cow print shirt, kind of. And I cut the sleeves off, and of course I now have this chain, the little cross that it's similar. It's super, super real, by the way. If you're listening to the podcast version on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, I appreciate you, but I am currently holding up my $14 gold chain. Yeah, it's 100% gold. Anyways, yeah, that's what I'm going as. And then of course, I'm going to tuck his shirt into my waistband, and it's going to flop around. No one's going to know who I am. I'm going to fill in my mustache the best I can, or like my little like whiskers I got going. I'll fill it in with like some, like, I think black mascara is what people use. So I'm going to do that as well. And hopefully I'll get my hair cut by then. And if I do that, maybe my little like baby party in the back will stand out a little bit more. I'm not going to look anything like him, if I'm going to be honest, but I mean, I just think it's a funny costume, and I can like aura farm a little bit with it. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on in my life. I may as well just go ahead and hop in. So if you guys watched NXT last night, the Hardy Boys won the NXT titles from Dark State. That was pretty sick. They're now holding both NXT and TNA titles. Does this strengthen or dilute both brands? See, this is tough. I feel like the only way you could see this is it strengthens it, because the Hardy Boys are one of the greatest tag teams of all time. And if they're holding both brands, it makes both brands look equally strong. And along with that, Um, there was the whole TNA versus NXT dispute where they like fought each other, brand versus brand, which great angle. And I do like that at the end of the night, the girls from NXT won and the boys from TNA won, so it's evenly split. I feel like that's really good, kind of showing that both brands are somewhat equal, because I feel like in recent times NXT has looked a lot stronger than TNA. Of course, Trick Williams winning the TNA title, um, and he's an NXT guy. So it was just some things like that just made it seem like TNA was getting shoved to the side a little bit, comparatively to NXT. So I like that the Hardy Boys won. I don't know who they're gonna drop it to, or what's gonna happen, but it was a great match. The whole team, like NXT as a whole right now, is just killing it. So yeah, I think it strengthens it for sure. I do want to point out I only have 15 questions, but my 15th question is probably gonna take me a minute, and I got class here in about an hour, so I'm really gonna try to run through this, if you know what I'm saying. Next up, we got Santos Escobar resigns. This is a good or bad move for the WWE. Dude, listen, whenever I first got into the WWE, I did not like Santos Escobar for some reason, because like in WWE 2K24, I had to play against him all the time. Now, after like seeing some of his work, dude, no, he's great. I don't know why because I don't know if they technically let him go for a second, or if they were still just trying to redo his contract and just things weren't working out, or whatever. But I think Santos Escobar is probably going to be pretty prominent in AAA, I would imagine. Hopefully he's on Raw or SmackDown or even on NXT. I mean, he could shine pretty much anywhere. He's definitely got the skills, and he controls the crowd pretty well. If you guys have never seen him, working a crowd or doing whatever, go check him out on YouTube. Like seriously, I was really impressed. I always usually check out any of the superstars that get let go if I don't really know them. Like back when Dakota Kai got released, I liked her, but I had only seen her a few times, so I went back and I like looked through her stuff, and she was great. I just do that every so often, so I really did think he was getting released. I am now happy he got signed back, so that's great for the WWE. How should WWE respond to publicly poor numbers for SmackDown and Raw? So I did want to address this. I'm a little bit confused why we're comparing the Netflix Raw numbers to the very first Netflix Raw, because everyone knows that the first Netflix Raw was going to be giant. And like, I'm going to look this up actually. So, yeah, the first ever Netflix Raw had 4.9 million global views. It was in 2.6 million households in the US. Okay, like there's just no way they were going to keep that up. And I don't understand why people are trying to compare it, because this was more of a one-off thing. It was like if you watch Netflix was heavily promoting that Raw was going to be on there. Maybe you used to watch Raw whenever you were 10, 12, 15, or maybe some adult hadn't watched since the Attitude Era, or, whatever. And they see Raw on Netflix, so they just turn it on, because there's a lot of households in the United States with Netflix. And of course, they're just going to chuck it on. And it was being promoted by ESPN, and like it was being promoted everywhere. So having 4.6 million viewers, 2.6 million households, like of course it was going to look like that. But now that people are starting to see the numbers like drop back down, it's like, I mean, what did you expect? Did you think every single Raw and every single SmackDown was going to have 2.6 million Americans watching? No. Households, sorry. No. It was just not going to happen. I don't think they need to respond publicly. I think they're fine. Are they going through a bit of a rough spot at the moment? Yes. Things are a little bit repetitive, in my opinion. on SmackDown and Raw. I can pretty much just tell you what's going to happen on Raw every single week. Um, and like every single Raw since I couldn't tell you how long ago has ended with The Vision, Jey Uso, CM Punk, LA Knight, something along those lines. It's every Monday. But I mean, I don't care. I mean, it's a little bit annoying, but at the same time it's like it at least builds the story a little bit, I guess. Last Raw, of course, did shock me, which I talked about that just a second ago. But I really do think we are starting to build out of that repetitive era because I think they're trying to build this all the way till Survivor Series. Um, yeah, I honestly don't know, but I wouldn't worry about the poor numbers from SmackDown or Raw. That's just my opinion. Jey Uso being fed darkness by Roman Reigns, is this a betrayal setup or long-term alignment? Yeah, so if you guys weren't watching Raw, Jey Uso is kind of turning heel right now, which I'm actually all for. I think he's had the same gimmick for a bit too long, and he's very over. So if he had like a crazy heel turn, I think it'd be pretty damn prominent. Um, but Roman's kind of being like the puppet master right now. He's kind of controlling Jey. That's a little bit what it feels like. Um, and I like it. I like the direction they're going. It's kind of Jey versus Jimmy right now, like a little bit, because they're kind of getting like they're kind of butting heads, and Jimmy, of course, is butting heads with Roman. Um, I like this angle. I don't like that because we're making Jey look a little bit stronger. We're just putting LA Knight into the ground. Don't love that. But I think this is a betrayal setup. I think this is a Jey Uso heel turn somewhere down the line. And I don't know what it sets up, but I think this could be really good work with Jey Uso's career. So, Cody versus Seth Rollins, is this a one-off or is this going to be long-term? See, this is really tough because the story is a little bit long-term because, of course, Seth is the one who first wrestled Cody whenever he came back at WrestleMania. Um, so, and they've wrestled each other a ton before. Like, they wrestled each other whenever it was Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus The Shield. So things like that, like they've had this like long history, but is this a one-off? I don't see them starting a major campaign together because I think Seth is gonna win. Seth's gonna get his first win against Cody, and I think Randy Orton gets involved, which is the next question. So I'll kind of just tie it in. Does Randy Orton get involved? Maybe. Because I think Randy's going to be the one to take the belt off Cody Rhodes, in my opinion. But does Seth Rollins get help to win? Yes, I believe so. Because if you watched the promo and the conversation between Seth and Paul Heyman basically says, your vision is ruined if you don't win this match. Seth's going to do whatever it takes to win this match. I think Randy gets involved, but he doesn't side with the Vision, or maybe we get a new member of the Vision. Me personally, I'm thinking this is Mr. Austin Theory, maybe making his return and helping Seth Rollins, and he's going to join the Vision and kind of be that, he's going to be that Randy Orton, that young prodigy, kind of like Orton was with Evolution. And yeah, I really do think Theory might be coming back at Crown Jewel. That'd be sick. That's what I'm at least hoping is going to happen. That's my little dark horse prediction. But if that doesn't happen, I think they're just pointing Cody versus Randy in the right direction by like having Randy help him out, and he looks at the title and he does this and whatever. It's going to happen eventually. So it wouldn't shock me if Randy gets involved, helps Seth, actually not even help Seth win, just screw Cody over, turning Randy heel. Um, that's just what I think. So we'll see how it plays out. Um, I should probably chuck in predictions. I'll do that near the end. Yeah. So next up, we got, okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. Becky Lynch lost to Maxxine Dupri. Chat. Listen, Maxxine has been one of my favorite wrestlers since I started watching again. Literally just because I personally think she's attractive, and I actually do think she has a lot of talent because she's a little bit like a Charlotte Flair. Like, not comparing her to Charlotte because I'm not the biggest Charlotte fan. She's a great wrestler, but we have our reasons. Um, but she's very tall. She's got that gymnastics background. I feel like there's a lot of stuff Maxxine can do that other superstars can't. And she has a great presence. She has a good connection with the audience, which we saw last night for sure. She was getting cheered like crazy. Um, this match blew me away. Was it the greatest match I've ever seen? No. It was sloppy. It was very sloppy at some points, but even though it was sloppy, how many false finishes did we have? Dude, like 8? Like, I need to go back and rewatch it. There was a few roll-ups. There was the roll-up and Maxxine climbed up on the ropes to get leverage and Becky kicked out. There was the spinning heel kick almost from Maxxine, drop Becky, 1-2 kick out. That it was sick. She had the diving crossbody, rolled her up, grabbed the tights, kick out. Um, I thought Maxxine was gonna get counted out the first time, and then Becky went in, yelled at the ref, and then rolled back out. That was another false finish. Um, Maxxine got put in the disarmor, and she was able to counter that into another roll up. That was a 1-2 kick out. I mean, there was so much good in this match, and this was miles better than the last match Maxxine had. The last match they had was very much okay, and everything just felt very scripted, I guess. It felt very walked through. In this match, it felt like they were kind of just running and gunning. They were kind of just doing their own thing in the middle of the match instead of maybe planning all like this entire 8-minute whatever match out. They were kind of just spitballing. Of course, they probably wanted to have a bunch of false finishes, which, by the way, I was at lunch in the dining hall and I was watching this match and I was literally just like, oh man, she's got her in the disarmor. Oh man, she's gonna tap out again. And then she rolled her up 1-2, and it was really really close. And I was like, whoa, sick. And then they had another pinning combination, whatever, 1-2. Oh man, she kicked out. And then the like she got up from the roll up and she put her in the position for the manhandle slam, and they jumped up together, and I was like, here we go. And then Maxxine moves out of the way, rolls her up again, 1-2 kick out. And I was like, dude, what is going on? Like, I was literally getting like prickles up my arm. I'm like, this is a good match. It like I said at the start, it was a little bit sloppy at some points. They had like some punches that looked weird at some points. But once they got into like pretty much the first 2-3 minutes of the match probably like were like the sloppiest points, and then other than that they just started to build and the crowd got so behind it. It was insane. um Now, I was a bit like, I thought Maxine won off a pin because if you guys know, she hit it's kind of like the move Tyler Breeze hits, the little like leg, like it's not really a spinning heel kick, it's just kind of like a big swinging leg to the side of the face. Maxine hits that. Becky goes down 1-2, and the ref like pretty much misses the count, but Becky didn't really kick out yet. And of course the commentators were like, "Oh, it was at 2.999." It's like, no, that was definitely gonna be a 3 count. But that happened. I was literally like, dude, I was out of my seat. I was literally what is going on? For me, I'm being for real. That was the match of the night. Like, I want to go back and rewatch the match because it was so great. Um, it just got me going, especially just because like a lot of people haven't seen Maxxine wrestle unless you pay attention to the Saturday night, like the main event that happens on Saturday, where they occasionally post whatever on YouTube, like a little one-off match. A lot of people probably haven't seen her wrestle, so it was good that she got that opportunity and she picked up the biggest win of her career by far. And I mean, if she keeps improving like that, I mean, dude, sky's the limit, because that was definitely impressive. What's going on with Bayley versus Lyra, and what's your opinion on Bayley's mental issues? Listen, sorry, just nailed the hell out of my mic. Um, Bayley versus Lyra, like, I feel like that's what they're building up for. But the whole like Bayley's mental issues thing, I think is a little bit odd. How she just like randomly just like freaks out and like has like a alter ego type thing. I mean, it's fine. I just think it's not being done very well at the moment. I need to let it build a little bit because maybe they're just kind of easing into it. But right now, it's definitely a little weird, in my humble opinion. So, how important is it to build up Stratton versus Vaquer? It's not just a title match, but a cross championship brand prestige match. How important is the build up? Uh, I don't even think you really need to build this up. I mean, they built it up a little bit. They're definitely pushing for Stephanie Vaquer to be the babyface in the match and Tiffany to be the heel, because of course Tiffany's talking all this crap and whatever. But they're both technically baby faces, so you never really know how the crowd is gonna react. So this one honestly might get called on the fly, just depending on how the crowd is reacting to both of them. Um, but I mean, this is gonna be a banger. These are two women in the WWE who can just go. I'll get to it later, but I think Stephanie's should probably pick up the win here. Um, but after this, I don't think Tiffany and Stephanie are gonna have much of a rivalry just because they're on the two different brands. But it is gonna be a sick match. I'm excited for it. Sami Zayn's open challenges, bro. Praise God. I've been saying this. He needed a change in character. And what he's done for the United States title is fantastic. He's defending it every week. He's giving a bunch of opportunities to let these young guys from NXT or maybe underutilized people on SmackDown kind of just show what they can do. And who's my pick to defeat Sami Zayn? People keep saying Obafemi. I want to disagree. I feel like Oba's gonna get into a rivalry whenever he steps into Raw or Smack. He's probably going to SmackDown. So whenever he steps into SmackDown, he's probably gonna get into a rivalry. I wouldn't see him immediately just getting called up to win the United States Championship. I think he needs to get into a line of people who are gonna win it. I still think Jimmy Uso should win it, but he's technically on Raw now, so like whatever. Who should defeat Sammy for the belt? I think Sammy's gonna hold on to this for a long time, but I'm just gonna say Carmelo Hayes, and then I feel like Carmelo Hayes should keep doing the open challenges because I love seeing it get defended every week, and every match has been a banger so far thanks to Sami Zayn. So nothing but props to Sammy, which is a big switch considering I was hating him a month ago because he just does the same thing, in every single match and every single rivalry. Well, I'm the underdog. People underestimate. It's like now that he's done with that, now he's really taken off in my book. Um, the tag division in SmackDown, dude. The tag division in SmackDown fell off. Is that just me? I feel like it used to be every tag division match on SmackDown was just like you just knew it was gonna be a banger, and they were having like all these problems, and they were doing like 4-way tag matches, and they were doing like they were doing all this stuff over the summer, August. But now it's like the momentum is just held just a little bit, and we're only getting the Street Profits versus the Wyatt Six, which listen, they're great, and I think the matches are fine, but I just think if you have it back to where it's like 5 different tag teams challenging for the championships all at these different times. I mean, I feel like that's just a way better build than what they're doing right now. Are the Street Profits going to end up turning on each other? Yes. They will. I think Montez Ford is going to turn heel on Angelo Dawkins, and he's going to have a little heel run. But at the same time, it might be hard for him to have a heel run just because people like him so much. So it might need to be Dawkins, and that sets up Montez versus Dawkins, and they're just going to do some crazy matches. But I'm excited for both of them to maybe go into a little singles run. Other than that, I'm trying to think of other tag teams I need to get involved. I mean, just all of them. All of them are great. They just need to be utilized more. I think it's more of a booking issue. Mello versus The Miz. Yeah, if you guys didn't see The Miz, Mello kind of turned on The Miz by not stopping him getting pinned. But then Mello came out to challenge for the United States Championship again, and The Miz pulled up, hit him with a little skull crushing finale, and that was that. So I wonder how they're going to build that storyline as well. Because this is interesting. Because I really like The Miz. I think Mello is one of the biggest upcoming talents in the WWE. So not sure, but hopefully we just get a month and a half of just Mello versus The Miz, and they can have all these background segments and all these crazy matches and really head-to-head stuff. Has American Made been involved in enough storylines lately, or are they underused? Brother, where are they at? Are they hurt? We need a little update, because if I don't see them in the SmackDown division on the very next Raw, I'm gonna lose my mind. We're talking about Julius Creed. Julius Creed is a big dude. Probably 6'5", 280 pounds. That is my guess. And dude hits a shooting star press for his finisher. And every match they're in is an absolute banger. Why are we giving as much as I love the Judgment Day, I love JD, and I love Finn, why are we giving them the titles for them to defend it one time in 100 days? I get that they're heels. I get that they don't want to defend it, but this is an absolute booking issue, which I think I just need to come out as a whole and just say the booking in the past 3 months has been shit. It's been really, really bad. And that's just my personal review. And I know it's hard for the people booking the matches, because it's well, we need to develop this storyline for this PLE, and we need to do this for this, and this needs to happen at this time. I get that, and it sucks, but the problem is you are making the Raw tag team division look so weak because the titles are never getting defended. And there are tag teams on Raw that deserve a shot, or you could make a tag team. You could put 2 people together like you did with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss and form this crazy tag team that people love, and it gets the fans' attention. But the Creed brothers are right there. They're insanely good, extremely underappreciated, probably the most underrated tag team in the WWE right now. And I'm just why are we only having the New Day and the Viking Raiders do whatever, and JD and Finn just don't wrestle? Now they wrestled in the 3 versus 3 match, of course, on Raw, but that doesn't count. They need to defend the tag titles, which they might be. I actually forget. They might be defending them next time around. But the Creed brothers, let's just maybe give them the tag titles and see what they do. I'm being so for real. If you guys are sick of chalky, heavy, gross protein powders, please stop right now and lock in. Clear is the new way to fuel your day. Clean and refreshing protein that I honestly enjoy quite a lot. You don't even need milk. In college, it's hard for me to have access to milk all the time, so I just mix mine with water and it's perfect. It's more like a juice. It's not like another protein powder. There's light, fruity flavors like strawberry watermelon, wild blue raspberry, And Clear delivers 20 grams of high-quality protein with 0 sugar and 0 lactose. What I want you guys to do is go into Clear store. It's KLEAR, and type in code CORB, and you will get 20% off all orders. That's CORB, C-O-R-B. Clear's the new way to fuel your day at any time. Please go check them out. I'm getting ready to spread my propaganda, which you guys have maybe heard the past few weeks. People yet again are trying to predict who John Cena's last opponent is going to be. He has 5 dates left. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be 2 appearances. It's going to be 2 or 3 appearances and then 2 or 3 matches. I would think if it's 2, it's going to be Survivor Series and then his retirement. Oh wait, no, because he has the match so it has to be 3. So he's going to have his match at Crown Jewel. He's going to have the match at Survivor Series, and then he's going to have his retirement match. So other than that, two more dates left, which I think are just probably going to be appearances, like I was saying. But I just want to break this down to you guys. What if? This is very much a what if, because I know any way that Cena's final person plays out, people are going to somewhat hate it, because wrestling fans just don't know how to take what things are at face value and appreciate it, which is fine, because that just shows that you care. But we need to love a little bit more, in my opinion. If Cena is going against AJ now, and at Survivor Series is maybe going against whoever, maybe he goes back up against Brock Lesnar. Maybe he goes against another young talent like Carmelo Hayes. Maybe he does something with The Miz. There's a lot of opportunities here. But let's just say, because John Cena made the open challenge prominent, he has a mystery opponent for his last appearance. To me, that would be absolute cinema. Absolute. Like, I think that would be the most perfect thing you could do. And he comes on the mic, and he's like, for my very last match, if you want some, come get some. And we just hear that. Mysterio. And people would freak out. They would freak out. Let's be honest. And also at the same time, if he comes out, that's automatically face versus heel. Easy enough. People who are saying that Edge is coming back, that's a horrible idea. And he shouldn't he's not going to build up someone who's already been built up like Edge. He's going to go out with a young talent, a young guy. That's why I think it's Dom. And if it is Edge and that scenario plays out, people are going to be way more apt to cheer for Edge because he just came back. And it kind of shifts the attention away from John Cena, which I feel like the whole night should be paying attention to John Cena because it's his last match. It is literally going to be called Saturday Night Main Event, John Cena's last match. That's going to be the PLE name. So I feel like if we have someone return or something like that, it just takes away from John Cena a little bit too much. And Edge is not coming back. If he comes back, I'll be a little bit disappointed, because I feel like he should go out putting over a young star. Still, it's going to be Dominic. That's still my pick. You've heard it here many times. But just putting it out there. My predictions for Crown Jewel. I probably should have had this pulled up in the first place. Also, I do just want to throw this out real quick, because I said Crown Jewel. It's in Perth, Australia. So we have Rhea Ripley and Io going up against the Kabuki Warriors. That's going to be fire. We have Bronson Reed versus Roman Reigns. That's going to be fire. 2 Australians in there. Where's the Aussie icon? Where's Grayson Waller? I'm just a little bit confused personally, because I feel like someone that you have named the Aussie icon should be on the Australian show. Does he maybe do like an announcing role or something like that? I'd be totally fine with that. But like bro, let's get Homeboy a match. That's all I'm saying. I feel like he should be on the card, and maybe he'll have a super prominent role on Monday Night Raw because it's also in Australia, which he should. He needs to wrestle. I just think he needs to wrestle at Crown Jewel. I think it's the right thing to do. And I think he's doing great work, and I think he's freaking hilarious, and he's a good wrestler, and he's great on the mic. I mean, just show Grayson Waller some love and let him wrestle in front of his home country. So, the Crown Jewel card. Here we go. Now, of course, this isn't going to be full. I wouldn't think, because there might be another match added in. I honestly haven't even fully looked at it, if I'm being for real. All right, so men's Crown Jewel Championship, of course. Crown Jewel is champion versus champion for that Crown Jewel ring and ginormous belts. So we have Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. My pick is Seth. Because I think, again, like I was saying earlier, like Paul Heyman said, he has to win. And I think he's going to win by any means necessary. Using the Vision, maybe using a new member like Austin Theory, like I was saying. However it happens, Seth's going to win. Now, that does kind of hurt me because in the Women's Crown Jewel Championship, I feel like they want one brand to win from SmackDown and one person to win from Raw. That's what I meant. Each brand needs to win one match. So then that would leave, of course, Tiffany Stratton to win. But I still don't think Tiffany wins. Because Stephanie just looks she's very hot right now. And she's super over. And she just looks like a very strong champion. And I think it would really dampen her if she lost. So I would say Stephanie's going to get the win. But I could see this is like a 50-50. Genuinely. It's just like, who do they want to put over? I would put over Stephanie. Oh, of course. AJ Styles versus John Cena. Another 50-50. Who knows if John Cena is going to put over AJ Styles or if AJ Styles is going to lose. John Cena probably needs a win because he's literally just losing to everyone right now for no reason. I feel like he should literally just start he should have been beating all of these people and then leading up to putting over that young talent, making that young talent look very, very strong. If he just keeps losing, whenever he eventually goes up against Dominic for his last match, it makes Dominic look like, oh, you just beat old John Cena, who hasn't won a match in 5 months or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. So I think John Cena's going to pick up the win here. Maybe Brock Lesnar pulls up again, maybe, or something. Maybe someone gets involved. I don't know. I just know it's going to be a good match because of John Cena and AJ Styles. So next we have Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed in the Australian street fight. It's just a street fight, but it's Australian though because it's in Australia. Who's gonna win this? It's gotta be Roman, right? Roman has to win this. Yeah. Yep, I'm picking Roman Reigns. I'm picking Roman. There's not much else for me to say. It's just that he's been struggling with the Vision for a while. They just took him out. He came back. And now Roman's going to pick up the win. Boom. Easy. And maybe something happens to Braun Breaker. So it's so Bronson Reed's hurt from the street fight. Braun Breaker is, he gets attacked backstage by the Usos, or something happens to where he can't go help Seth, meaning Seth is all on his own again. And maybe Becky's off going crazy because she lost to Maxxine Dupri. Who knows? So it kind of looks like Seth has no help, which leads into a new member pulling up, a.k.a. Austin Theory. So I'll pick Roman to win. Asuka and Kairi versus Io and Rhea. I feel like this is really difficult because I feel like if Io and Rhea win, it kind of just ends the feud almost a little bit. But if Asuka and Kairi win, then it kind of it kind of just sets it going forward, like keeps this rivalry going forward because like Rhea and Io aren't gonna stop until they win. But if they lose, I feel like it makes Io and Rhea look a little bit weak, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Io and Rhea. But I think this rivalry continues. Also, do we want to talk about how fire Kairi Sane's theme song is? She's supposed to be like, she's like a pirate basically, like a I don't want to get this wrong because that'd be horrible. Japanese. She's a Japanese pirate. Um, that's fire. Her theme song just blends both of those together beautifully, and it's very upbeat. Honestly, I'd never really listened to it. And it came on for her match against Io, and I was like, yo, this low-key a banger. And I added it to my WWE soundtrack playlist that I have that I listen to at the gym a lot, because that's what I do. So yeah, Io and Rhea are my picks. And then yeah, that's it. That is it. So I need to get this set up. So for my final segment, who would have the WWE belts if it were my decision? So okay, so pretty much this is just gonna be who are my favorite people in the company right now and who I would give belts to, or like people who deserve it the most, whatever. I'm not gonna go into detail how they get them, what happens, but if I had to just take everyone and put a belt on them, who would I pick? All right, I now have it set up. So we're gonna first start with the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. So this is the one that is held on Raw, and if it's me, I'm keeping it on Stephanie Vaquer. I think she's the right champion right now. If I was the head of the company, she was the one I'd pick. The Undisputed Championship, so the SmackDown Championship. If it was me, I'm going to give it to Chelsea Green because she's good at everything she does. She takes whatever gimmick you give her and she just makes it look like $1,000,000. And I think it'd be hilarious if she had the title. So Chelsea would be my pick. The women's IC title, we're giving that to Maxxine Dupri because I feel like I don't know. I feel like Maxine could do some good with the IC title. It makes her character look stronger, and it's my list, and these are my champions. These are not going off of how much they deserve it, how much whatever. It's literally just like if I was in there and I got to just handpick every single one, basically just like my favorite people. These are who are gonna get them. So, and I'm gonna keep it brand respective, at least try to a little bit. So the women's US title. What? Not Julia. It's not her fault. It's not. It's really not her fault. It's just she's not being booked very well at the moment. So yeah, I almost want to say Zelina Vega. I almost want to say Zelina Vega. Actually, no. The U.S. title's gonna go to it's either Alexa Bliss or AJ Lee. I'm gonna give it to AJ Lee because she just returned. AJ Lee is gonna be your U.S. champion. That'd be pretty sick. And I don't. I mean, I think she's technically maybe signed to Raw, but I mean, she can be a floater because it's AJ Lee and whatever. Tag titles. Alexa and Charlotte will not keep them. There's no like women's like tag team besides that's something they need to build up. They need to build up actual like women's tag teams like we have like the Secret Hervis. That's the only actual technical like tag team, which sadly Piper Niven has a career ending injury maybe. So it would just be her and it would be Alba Fire and Chelsea, which would be fire. Anyways, um, But the tag titles need more like actual teams, like the Judgment Day. It's the Judgment Day, Raquel and Roxanne. It's not just Alexa and Charlotte. No, we need actual tag teams. Like, there was Los Matadores for the guys, or like if you want to look at like what's going on right now, like DIY. DIY is a championship. The Street Profits, they are the Street Profits. Like it's not just two. It's not Dawkins and Montez Ford. If you guys are understanding where I'm coming from, so the tag titles for me are just gonna go back to the Judgment Day. Judgment Day, Raquel and Roxanne are just gonna get them back. That'd be pretty sick. The NXT Championship. Yummy. The Women's NXT Championship. What am I saying? I'd give it to Sol Ruka. Even though she doesn't even need it, but I would still just give it to her. But that means she doesn't have the North American Championship anymore, and who gets that? Who gets the North American Championship? You know what? Candice LeRae, because she's technically down on NXT right now, and I like the work she's doing. So Candice LeRae gets the North American Championship, and with the Speed Championship for the women, I feel like this is kind of a NXT title for the women at least, because Sol's been holding it for so long down on NXT. So I'm gonna say the winner of the Speed Championship is gonna be, is her name Lainey Reed, the girl who like kneed the hell out of Candice LeRae in the face. Yeah, I'm gonna take Lainey Reed. Wow, I can't spell. There we go, Lainey Reed, Speed Championship. And that's all the ones I can think of. Oh, wait. NXT tag for the women's. Sorry, I guess I did forget that. The girls with, JC Jane and that other girl. JC Jane and company. What they call it? Fatal Influence? Is that right? It might not be right. Hold on. Influence NXT. It is Fatal Influence. Yes. I'm him. I don't care which one. Just one of them, along with JC Jane, are the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. Now to the men's side. The World Heavyweight Champion. So, currently being held, of course, by Seth. And absolutely not, because Dominic Mysterio is going to be the champion. Dirty Dom. And also, I'm just going to also just put in here the AAA champ. That's also still just going to be Dominic. Because I said so. And I just like him having two belts. I like two belts, Dirty Dom. He just replaces the IC title with the World Heavyweight Championship. The Undisputed Championship. This is like so easy for me. Drew McIntyre. Drew deserves it. They need to put it on him soon, please. Like maybe if Randy gets it, have him like do some stuff and he has a few good defenses and whatever, and then just give it to Drew, please. The IC title. It's going to Finn Balor. Finn Balor is going to get the IC title because I like Finn, and I think the IC title looked great on him, especially if he was the Demon. The Demon Balor would definitely get the IC title. The US title. It's hard for me not to say Carmelo Hayes, so I'll pick Melo. Melo don't. I was gonna say Melo don't Miz, but they are no longer a tag team. The World Tag titles, so the ones from Raw. Oh, yeah, I was saying this earlier. Yeah, the Creed brothers. The Creed brothers are definitely getting my World Tag titles for sure. In WWE Tag titles on SmackDown? This is tough. It's going to go to Pretty Deadly because I just think it'd be super funny. Give Pretty Deadly just like it's like a ladder match again, like they were doing a while back, and just like have everyone just like just doing whatever, and Pretty Deadly just like sneaks up and gets a win. I think it'd be cinema to have them hold the tag belts, in my opinion. Oh, I also need to add an NXT tag down here. Okay. Now, the NXT champion. Who would I make the NXT champion? Am I allowed to? Actually, wait. This is my rules. My video is my rules. I'm gonna just give it to Grayson Waller. Yeah, Grayson Waller. He's gonna be NXT champion because I want him to be, because I like him. The NXT tag champ. The NXT tag champions. I'll just pick the Hardys because I think having the Hardys have them is sick. So Hardy Boys, which they have them right now, so it's perfect. The North American champ. Oh, Ethan Page is just gonna keep taking it because Ethan Page is actually so funny with the stuff he's doing with, like, you know, having, like, you know, Canada printed all over the belt. Like, I think it's so funny, and the work he does is great. So Ethan Page's my pick. The Speed champion, El Grande Americano. Which I think he still even has it right now, but he gets the last championship. And if I had to make up my own championship just to put this person in here, this is going to be the 6-7 championship. Sorry. And it's going to be a very prestigious championship, not as prestigious, of course, as the World Heavyweight Championship. And also, I just want to point out, if it was me, the Speed Championship would be way cooler than it is right now for the men, at least. The 6-7 championship is going to Austin Theory. If I were to make up a belt, which I would, just to give him a championship in this environment. So, to run everything through. Actually, I'm not running back through all of that. Just re-listen if you forget. So yeah, that is pretty much going to finish the podcast. Literally. That's pretty much it, I think. Of course, you heard the ad. Clear, go buy it. Please, that'd be sick. Code Corbin. Corb, C-O-R-B, sorry. Follow me on Twitter /X, Corbin Elliott 24. All my descriptions are below. If you're watching on any, on YouTube, I appreciate you. I'm posting a bunch of stuff on YouTube right now. So if you want to actually see the tier lists being made, go check those out. If you just like hearing my beautiful, soothing voice, just stay on the podcast. It's perfect wherever you get your podcast from. It's great. I appreciate you for watching and listening and doing whatever, because I'm having a lot of fun with this. It'd be a lot more fun if I wasn't sick, which I'm very sorry about. So yeah, which I think I mentioned this earlier in the week, a Simply Lovely podcast with me and my friend Caleb. Go check that out. Formula One inspired, pretty much all racing, honestly, but Formula One is maybe going to be a bit more of the focus, but it's fire, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it, just like I'm having fun doing these. So, check out all my stuff. I'd really appreciate it. And that's pretty much all I got. So I'll see you guys after Crown Jewel. Hopefully my predictions, happen to maybe be all correct. That'd be pretty sick. But other than that, I got nothing for you guys. So I really appreciate you guys for listening to the Freestyle with Corbin Elliott, and I will catch you guys later. See you.